Let's go to Stephanie in Washington on line 1. Stephanie, you're on Heart of the Matter.
Hey, Shawn, I can't believe I'm finally talking to you. Thank you for your ministry.
Oh.
I was watching the baseball game and I went, oh no, Shawn's show's on, and I don't know if you've already covered this, but I was a Jehovah's Witness for 16 years before I converted to Mormonism for 3, and I left Mormonism 2 years ago.
Huh.
So I'm pretty messed up. I'm trying to search out Christ, God, what the heck. And the one thing that bothers me, and I know it bothers a lot of people, but the Adam and Eve story, like for the JWs, they believe that Satan really talked through a snake and whatnot, and that we will be paying, that's why we get sick and die. And then, of course, the LDS view, that was the one thing they could never explain to me and I could never accept. The fall. Their version of the fall is so bizarre and backwards.
Yeah.
So my question was, is there anything in the Bible, or do we not know yet, that are we going to continually pay for Adam and Eve? I mean, is my daughter and the next generation going to get sick and go through this earth and continue to pay for something that happened so many eons ago? That's the one thing that bothers me about, with you, I've been able to hold on to some parts of Christianity, but there's things that I can't buy the fact that God would just let us suffer and continue on to die and suffer and then continue on to die and pay for something that I didn't do. So can you please explain or try or...
Well, Stephanie, what's interesting...
frustrating for me.
What's interesting about your query, and remind me, say, Shawn, you just asked me to remind you of something before you hang up, okay? So before you hang up, say, I want to remind you, Shawn, and then I'll tell you. But the interesting thing about your query is more and more in our world, we've come to this idea that we as human beings can overcome the effects of the fall. And there are a lot of people out there who believe that we can go from 46 and 2, that means talking about chromosomal change, and we can leap into a new dimension of chromosomes where we are going to overcome our death. We are going to live immortal lives. The foods we eat are going to change us and all that stuff. But, there's a great philosopher who said, I want you to imagine for a minute if we lived forever on this planet. Talk about indifference. You wouldn't care if your kids, if there was no death, you wouldn't have very much care for anybody. So death looms, and it gives us a perspective of the limited nature of this existence. So while it is something that's hard for us, it is a very, very short vapor for us to experience in terms of eternity. But the other thing, Stephanie, is we are subject to much of what happened because of the fall, but Christ Jesus is called by Paul the second Adam. And Christ, he overcame this world. He says, don't fear, I have overcome this world. And so by and through your faith and strength and spirit in him, you can overcome the effects, the spiritual deleterious effects upon your soul by and through Christ. He is the second Adam, and he will fortify you through a walk that's not going to change. We are always going to wear out and die. And I guess to answer you, Adam brought in physical death, but Christ Jesus brought in both physical renewal and spiritual renewal, and he brings total life. That's the best thing I could give, but I don't think we are ever going to come out from under the effect of this world falling into sin.
Okay, that makes sense.
I hope. I don't know.
I'm supposed to make you... okay, what am I supposed to remind you, Shawn?
Listen, in 2017, we're doing a show. We're lining people up, and somehow in that 12-month period, we need to get you out of Washington.
I heard you say that. Yes, I'm so looking forward to that.
Well, we want you to be on.
Doing that next year.
No, I want you to be on to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, me?
Yeah, and become a Mormon, and then becoming a Christian that's all befuddled. That would be a great show. Will you consider it?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you consider it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anybody I can reach out there to not make the same mistake that I did after leaving the Witnesses, Absolutely. I'd be honored.
Okay, good. We'll talk later as the year rounds out next 6 months and see when it would be convenient for you to get out here.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Stephanie.
you so much for, God bless you and your ministry, your family, everybody there. Thank you so much for Tuesday nights.
Thanks, Stephanie. God bless. Go back to the ball game. The rest is going to be boring.
Okay.
All right, bye.
I'll see you.